From hackers being hit with fines to some new Oculus headgear, we have the latest headlines from across the game industry, so let's load them up and dive right in. There's a new mobile game studio coming out of Google this year. Dubbed the Arcade, it's planned to cater to folks who enjoy playing phone titles with their friends, and it's being developed through Area 120, Google's internal incubator that allows employees to launch startups within the company and test the waters with new ideas. It's being led by a former Facebook intern, and their first title is a trivia game of sorts slated for a summer release. Google is being sure to downplay it, stating that the Arcade's work is nothing more than an early experiment at this stage. While that may hold true going forward, Niantic Labs was founded in the same way under Google's program before it went independent following the success of Ingress, so there could be potential here if history repeats itself. Nintendo's mobile efforts haven't been as fruitful as the company's wanted so far. At their latest financial briefing, acting president Kimishima shared his impressions on the performances of titles like Super Mario Run and Fire Emblem Heroes, which have been doing well enough at 20 million monthly users and generating 86 million in 2 months respectively, and touched on the fact that they haven't reached a satisfactory profit point yet, but they plan to stay the course and continue to cultivate the mobile space into one of their pillars of revenue. His upcoming replacement, Furukawa, isn't deterred either, claiming that the mobile sector is the area he's most interested in expanding right now. He doesn't believe that they have anything currently underway that could rival the runaway success of Niantic's Pokemon Go, but he thinks the right step to take right now is to expand into unexplored territories and give their IPs more exposure across the globe. On the other end of the spectrum, it looks like Zynga is seeing a bit more fruit than anticipated. Following the first quarter of the year, the company is reporting a profit of 5.6 million, blowing its nearly 10 million estimated loss out of the water. Their mobile sales figures are up by 13% relative to last year, which also accounts for 88% of the total revenue for the quarter, up from last year's 82%. The company is obviously feeling pretty good about those numbers, proclaiming with confidence that they're outperforming expectations and seeing their highest mobile audience in 4 years, which they attribute to player engagement from franchises like Words with Friends and Zynga Poker. So if you're looking for a profitable place to apply and enjoy the delicate art of digital gambling, a career at Zynga could be in the cards. Zynga's results are reflective of an industry shift this year too. According to reports from Newzoo, mobile games represent just over 50% of the market, with consoles and PC lagging behind at 25 and 24. This marks the first year that mobile represents the largest segment of the market too, rising 25% over last year's numbers. From there, PC and console are seeing a pretty even split. They expect PC engagement to continue to expand, but they don't anticipate much growth due to popular titles in the space already performing at their peak, and pay-to-play games declining in the last few years. Newzoo is surprised to see the growth of mobile hasn't been cannibalizing the market share for PC and consoles, and with the global market hitting almost 137 billion this year, it's safe to say all these platforms have players ready to buy into your next project. If you want to keep track of a fraction of those PC profits, you'll be glad to hear Steam Spy isn't out the door quite yet. Despite losing access to a lot of its data courtesy of Valve's recent privacy adjustments, the service's creator Sergey has leveraged machine learning through a new algorithm that'll help fill the void. This new algorithm has allowed projections to fit within a 10% window from the real data, but through continued iteration and development, the system can become more effective, assuming Valve doesn't make any further changes that renders it all useless. At the moment, certain elements of Steam Spy are restricted to members supporting the creator's Patreon, which they claim is simply out of a desire to get everything fixed before opening it up to the general public. Sergey has reached out to Valve with a proposal for using their old algorithm without exposing user data, from which the company has confirmed the message was received. To be honest, Sergey said, that was already more than they've ever said to me before. With its release at the beginning of May, the standalone Oculus Go is collecting its fair share of headlines. And if the market intelligence firm Superdata has an accurate prediction, the headset has a profitable future ahead of it. With its price set at a market-friendly $200, they project the device will ship 1.81 million by the end of the year, which would place it as the market leader if you factor out Google's Cardboard. Moreover, they predict it'll be higher than PlayStation VR by a margin of over 400,000. Dedicated devices and console-based solutions is where Superdata is seeing the most potential going forward, as their projections for mobile and PC-based arrangements are less than optimistic. And overall, they're expecting a drop in VR sales despite the healthy offsets Sony and Oculus are bringing to the table. So if VR is a field of interest for you, consider their projections and look into supporting standalone and console headsets. If you want to keep your community free from cheats and earn a profit while you're at it, turn your attention to PUBG Corp and take a few notes. Through a Steam update, the team shared they're doing everything they can to prevent cheating in their game, PlayerUnknown's Battleground, and they've been following through on that promise. Aside from the standard improvements to security measures and seeking out new anti-cheating solutions, they've also cooperated with authorities to bring down shady businesses that have been messing with their players, and in some cases, releasing tools that could take control of players' computers and steal their information. One such event from last week saw 15 hackers who were creating hacking and cheating programs arrested and subsequently fined a whopping $5.1 million. Investigations are still underway into undisclosed cases, but it's safe to say that there's just as much money on the table for cracking down on hackers than there is profiting on hacked intrusions. If you're interested in dabbling or developing with CryEngine, there's a humble bundle deal that might just strike your fancy. For the price of a single dollar, you can claim an animation pack and 3 webinar training videos to learn a few tricks with the tech. Every tier offers at least 1 asset pack to give developers an incentive to invest, from an underwater level demo at the awkwardly set $9.13 price point to the Deceit asset pack for $15 or more. You'll also receive a handful of games for your tier of choice, which can serve as references for the engine's capabilities and a prime source of fun. If you're interested in nabbing the bundle for yourself, it's available on the Humble Bundle storefront until May 15th, so save yourself the tiers later and give it a look while you can. And that covers this week's lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Was there anything you found particularly insightful? Did we miss something you think should have been covered? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to tune in next time for another newsworthy breakdown.